No, she went to work. Yeah. Right now.
Councilor McEwen,
Hold on.
I love technology. He's there.
He's no longer with us, so I'm guessing.
okay. I'll move along. Councilor Pelletier,
Here.
Councilor Cray,
He's joining me right now.
Councilor
He's on it now.
McEwen, I'm doing roll call if you're available.
Can you hear him?
There we go. Technical difficulties. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Aye.
Fine.
You're present. Thank you.
I am here.
Thank you so much. Can we please stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the absence of the chair, I do need to seek nominations for pro chair 10.
I nominate Charles Brett.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Bragg and seconded by Councilor Madore. Any other nominations? Seeing, hearing none, may I have a vote? And we do have to do roll call.
Yes, we do.
So. Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth. Aye. Councilor Cray. Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
Thank you.
Councilor Pelletier.
Oh, Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
501 with the abstention. Thank you, Councilor Cray, for stepping in. You may take over.
Thank you. Manager, any adjustments to the agenda?
There should be one adjustment. We're not sure what it will read yet, but it will be a variation on the previous order regarding the international budget. And we received some updated information to be able to hopefully move the date forward on.
Thank you. Special presentations, there are none. Could I have someone read order 225/2022?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor Madore,
order 225-2022, providing for public hearing. Order the Millinocket Town Council entered into a public hearing to discuss the FY 2023.
Second.
moved and seconded. Councilor discussion. Seeing none.
To the public.
I was waiting for the council.
Oh, that's right, Council.
Comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Okay, roll call. Roll call.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Cray.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth. Aye. Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
Vote is 6-0 order passed. Unfinished business,
No, now we're into public hearing.
thank you. We're now into the public hearing on the school budget. Chair would like to recognize the staff, the
Mr. Chair, you might.
school department. Going up in and out.
Oh, you could be good now.
I'm sorry,
You should have just.
on and off, right? Having microphone problem here. Please, Josh.
Thank you. For the FY 23 budget, I was able to use our audited carryover amount of $392,360, $392,360, as well as additional revenues made up from the unorganized territories and our international program, as well as miscellaneous revenues such as child development services and tickets for sporting events. Using these numbers, as well as the EPS provided by the state, I was able to produce a local additional appropriation to the town of $1,543,062.25. This local additional appropriation is $46,775 less than we asked for from the town last year. We were able to make up this difference through the previously mentioned additional revenues, including the international program, which I realize has been a hot button topic for some time. If you will, or if you wouldn't mind going to the last page. And it's broken up between the end of the previous page as well. You'll be able to see that with the international program, the only expenses in the program are the wages of the international coordinator, as well as the limited house stays that we must pay out. This is a very, very basic budget, and it will serve us throughout this year. We have 2 students that are coming over from different countries this year. We have received payment for one in the amount of $10,000. We have invoiced for the second one in the amount of $5,000 and should be receiving it within the next few weeks. The 3 schools that we connect with in China for our dual diploma program have been on a summer break. We're waiting to hear back from them, and once we do, we should be receiving the funding for those students as well within the next 2 to 3 months as they return and are able to focus on commitments. I'm confident in these numbers and this budget. We've spent a lot of time on it, and I've been very aware to bring in the council as well as the school board on its creation. I've been in contact with, I think, all of you in the last few weeks. So at this point, I don't have any much more I can say about it. If I have any questions.
Thank you. Thank you, and I do want to express on behalf of the council our appreciation of you reaching out to council members and fielding questions and trying to respond to all the questions that we had. I do know there are some, I think, outstanding, which you said you'll work on as soon as you get those opportunities too, and they're more reflective on an informational basis and necessity for this budget and a better understanding going forward on the budget. So I do appreciate all of your efforts. Would you like to make any comments or?
Well, I just hope that the council has had, plenty of time to take a look at this budget. To see the numbers, to see that it makes sense. He has put in a ton of work. We've all worked on it all summer. Obviously, there's going to be changes. And I think that the numbers have really good for the top office.
Thank you. Any questions from members of the council? Councilor Madore?
Yep, I just want to get this is going to come out. Okay. That I just want to get out there for everybody, the clarification of how the contract is going to be done for the assistant principal / athletic director and where that money is going to come from. So that, because I know out in the public, that question has come up time to time. This way we get it out, get it circulated, so if you could,
Absolutely. The primary salary of the athletic director slash assistant principal is coming out of the 9 through 12 teacher salary line, which can be found on page 6. And in addition to this, they will be receiving an athletic director stipend, which can be found on page 16. The athletic director's stipend is for $15,000 and the assistant principal contract is based on a teacher contract. So whatever step they would come in on, that's their salary.
and if I could, Chairman, my understanding is that athletic director stipend is going to be shared or divided between the principal TV and the athletic director as, so he can continue his coaching.
Yes, it is not unheard of an athletic director to coach as well. And there's going to be events where they will have to be off site. At which point Beth has agreed to take over.
I just want to get that out in public and clarified so that there's no questions in the general public. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Other councilors? Louis, Council Phillips here.
Thank you. On the international program, I couldn't find that same one. You have a different report number here, so it's, I couldn't really follow that. It seems like we've got 200,000 coming in from the international program. Is that what that was?
You'll, yeah, it's on the end of the last page. So if you want to scroll up just a hair. There you go.
What came in?
So the international program is expected to take in $267,000 of revenue.
So, I guess my question is, this was expected to be received by September.
Well, there are usually payouts throughout the year. Sometimes it is. There's some that come in at the beginning of the year, and then there's more that comes in throughout the year.
Okay, well, just to get to the point of my concern is that it didn't come through last year. Some 75,000, get some of that back. And then this all goes to my point of spending income in the year that you're making. You know, it's not audited, the department made that by the end of the year. So are we in a situation where that income may not come in, all of it, like last year, and then have overspent that particular program?
Louis, sorry, Councilor.
That's
Emmons here.
Call me Lou.
If you look on your revenues page, which is, it will be. The fourth page in on the packet. Looking at the tuition of the international program going all the way down to child development services. None of these amounts are concrete. Or unorganized territories, for example, we could have a student leave mid-year, or we could gain a student mid-year.
Yeah, but that's not the same issue as, you know, foreign government and they shut you down.
I think it is the same issue though. It's whether or not we receive the revenue.
I have more faith in our unorganized territories coming in with their payments than in China.
I understand.
So hence my point. I don't think it's good financial practice to spend time you haven't realized and audited, but you know you have it. Thank you. That's all I gotta say.
Any other questions? I'd like to follow up on that point, though, for clarification for the public. The expectation of revenues is always an estimate going forward to that. And traditionally, this is the way that this account has been handled in the past. There is some concerns in reference to the changing events, probably even internationally, to those assurances. So the question there then is, the assessment is based upon the past practices that the expectation of those students and those monies will be coming in because of any additional type of feelings or substance that you've received from them?
I can speak to that. We do have signed contracts. We are dealing with a couple of schools that we have dealt with in the past and have had a good relationship with. So we feel pretty confident that this anticipated revenue will come in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions of the council from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none. That's the public hearing.
That's our first reading.
No one else?
Very good.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Back on the agenda. On unfinished business from 6/23/2022 tabled orders. My intent is to go around the room and have counselors read each of the orders, and we'll proceed from that point in passing them, amending them, or discussing over each of them. I'll start with Councilor Pelletier. Councilor Pelletier, could I have you read order 156-2022?
Order number 156-2022, providing for appropriation for system administrations. It is ordered that $774,097.85 hereby raised and appropriated for school system administration for fiscal 2023. Recommended $774,097.85.
Second.
Moved and seconded by
Voted.
Councilor McEwen. I knew there was a voice over there somewhere. Any discussion by the council? Seeing none, any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Any comments? Seeing none, call for the vote. Have the clerk call the roll.
Councilor Brandon.
Aye.
Councilor.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth. Aye. Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
6-0.
The vote is 6-0-1 on absent. Councilor Bragg, may I have you read order 157-2022?
Order number 157-2022, providing for appropriation for school administration. It is ordered that $391,840 is hereby raised and appropriated for school administration for fiscal year 2023.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Bragg, seconded by Councilor Madore. Discussion from the council. Seeing none, comments from the public. Seeing none, back to the council. Any comments? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Brandon.
Aye.
Councilor North.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote is 6-0-1 absent.
Order
Councilor
number,
Madore.
order number 158-2022, providing for appropriation for regular instruction is what is it, $650,247 is hereby raised and appropriated for regular instruction for fiscal 2023. Recommended $2,650,247.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion by the council.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, yep. That one should have been amended.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion.
Um, The items before us. Make your motion.
I'd like to make a motion to amend order number 158 to read $2,596,118.
Second.
Moved by Councillor Bragdon, seconded by Councillor Pelletier. The amendment was $2,596,118. Any discussion by the council? Seeing none from the public. Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Voting on the amendment, Councillor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councillor McEwen,
Aye.
Councillor Fedor,
Aye.
Councillor Craig,
Aye.
Councillor Danforth. Aye. Councillor Pelletier.
Aye.
6-0 on the amendment, so call for vote on the order as amended. Councillor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councillor Fedor,
Aye.
Councillor Craig,
Aye.
Councillor Danforth. Aye. Councillor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councillor McEwen.
Aye.
The order passes 601. For explanation for those who may not know, the purpose of the amendments is as the budget proposal came back to us from the original order that we had. The amendments are meeting with what the second recommendation from the school board and the school administration.
Correct.
Council Danforth, could I have you read order?
Order number 159-2022, providing for appropriation for special education. It is ordered that $1,375,417.20 to special education for fiscal year 2023 is hereby raised in maybe if I could read that correctly, everybody would understand it. It is ordered that $1,375,417.20 is hereby raised and appropriated for special education for fiscal 2023.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Danforth, seconded by Councilor Pelletier. Any discussion by the council? Seeing none, any comments from the public?
I do have a clarification question. Was that read as amended?
That was read as amended.
Is that how I'm going
That's,
Okay.
that's the motion that was made, so that's the motion that's before us.
Thank you.
Any, back to the council, any comments? Seeing no comments? Any comments from the town clerk? Seeing none, call the roll.
I have notes.
I'm out of practice. It's been 30-some years since I've done this, so. Call the roll, please.
As amended, Councillor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councillor McEwen,
Aye.
Councillor Fedor,
Aye.
Councillor Craig,
Aye.
Councillor Danforth,
Aye.
Councillor Pelletier.
Aye.
Council McEwen, could I have you read order 160-2022?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, order number 160-2022, providing for appropriation for student and staff support. It is ordered that $429,918 is hereby raised and appropriated for student and staff support for fiscal year 2023. Recommended $429,918.
Second.
Moved by Council McEwen, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. Any discussion by the council? Seeing none from the public? Council, town treasurer.
Split up between two different categories. There's a student support.
The question from Josh, because we do have people listening on there, appreciate the mic, but let me also repeat it since Mary Alice didn't come to the microphone. She was wondering what page that was on. So that was the discussion for those that are on the Zoom call.
So that order is split up between two different cost centers. It's student support and staff support. Staff support is on page 15 and student support is on page 15.
What was that second page number?
14. Thank you.
Give everybody a moment to find page 14. Any comments or questions by the council? Seeing none, call the vote.
Councilor Brackett,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Craig,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 601, the order passes. Councilor Pelletier, could I have you read 161-2022?
Orders 161, providing for appropriations for other instruction disorders at $350,986 is hereby raised and appropriated for other instruction for fiscal 2023.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Pelletier, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. Any comments from the council? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none, clerk would call the roll.
Councilor Brackett,
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 601, the order passed. Councilor Bragdon. Could I have you read order 162-2022?
Order number 162-2022, providing for appropriation for career and technical education. It is ordered that $28,803 is hereby raised and appropriated for career and technical education for fiscal year 2023. Recommended $28,803.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Bragdon, seconded by Councilor Madore. Any discussion by the council? Seeing none from the public. Seeing none, back to the public, back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Craig,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
Vote being 601, the order passes. Councilor, lost my place, Councilor Madore.
Yeah. Order 163-2022, providing for appropriation for facility maintenance. Ordered that $1,259,581 is hereby raised and appropriated for facility maintenance for fiscal year 2023. Recommended $1,259,581.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Madore, seconded by Councilor Danforth. Any comments from the council? Any comments from the public? Back to the council. Seeing no comments, clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Craig,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Second. All right, aye.
Thank you.
Now, the vote being 601, the order passes. Councilor Madore, Councilor McEwen. Order 164-2022, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, order number 164-2022, providing for appropriation for transportation and buses. It is ordered that $273,065 is hereby raised and appropriated for transportation and buses for fiscal year 2023. Recommended $273,065.
Second.
Moved by Councilor McEwen, seconded by Councilor Danforth. Any comments from the council? Seeing none, any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Councilor Pelletier. Clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Madore,
Aye.
Council LaPre,
Aye.
Council Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
You're muted, Councilor McEwen.
Thank you.
I was able to read the lips, but I couldn't hear you. Order passes 601. Councilor Pelletier, could I have you read order? I was skipping her, but back to Councilor Madore, would rather have Councilor Danforth read that order.
Is it order 165?
Yes.
Order number 165-2022, providing for appropriation of debt for debt service and other commitments. It is ordered that $97,208 is hereby raised and appropriated for debt services and other commitments for fiscal year 2023. Recommended $97,208.
Moved by Councilor Danforth, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Council LaPre,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote is 601. Order passes. Councilor Pelletier, order 166.
Order 166, providing for appropriations for all other expenditures. It is ordered that $13,205.34 is hereby raised and appropriated for all other expenditures for fiscal year 2023.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Pelletier, seconded by Councilor Bragdon and Madore. Any comments from the council? Seeing none, any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Madore,
Aye.
Councilor LaPre,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
Vote being 601, the order passes. Councilor Bragdon, could I have you read order 167, please?
Order number 167-2022, providing for appropriation for total cost of funding for public education. It is ordered that $5,027,807.80 be appropriated for the total cost of funding public education from pre-kindergarten to grade 12 as described in the Essentials Program and Services Funding Act, and that $1,210,668.34 be raised as the municipality's contribution to the total cost of funding public education from pre-kindergarten to grade 12 as described in the Essential Programs and Services Funding Act in accordance with the Maine Revised Statute Title 20-A, Section 15688. The school committee recommends $1,210,668.34. Explanation. The municipality's contribution to the total cost of the funding public education from pre-kindergarten to grade 12 as described in the Essential Programs and Services Funding Act is the amount of money determined by state law to be the minimum amount that a municipality must raise in order to receive the full amount of state dollars.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Bragdon, seconded by Councilor Madore. Discussions from the council? Seeing none from the public? Back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Council McEwen,
Aye.
Council Madore,
Aye.
Council LaPre,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
The vote being 601, the order passes. Councilor McEwen, order number 168, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, order number 168-2022, providing for appropriation for debt services. It is ordered that $97,208 be raised and appropriated for the annual payments on debt service previously approved by the municipality's legislative body for non-state funded school construction projects, on-state funded portions of school construction projects and minor capital projects, in addition to the funds appropriated as the local share of the municipality's contribution to the total cost of funding public education from pre-kindergarten to grade 12. The school committee recommends $97,208. Explanation: non-state funded debt service is the amount of money needed for the annual payments on the municipality's long-term debt for major capital school construction projects that are not approved for state subsidy. The bonding of this long-term debt was previously approved by the voters or other legislative body.
Second.
Moved by Councilor McEwen, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. Any discussions in the council? Seeing none from the public. Back to the council. I would have one question. I should have had this beforehand, but do you know where we are on the debt? How many more years we have?
I believe we have 2 years.
Two more. I just raised that up because I think the town is doing significantly well on its fiscal obligations of debt, both through the school and through the town. We're in very good shape. Appreciate that. Any other comments from the council? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Craig,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
My battery's dead. Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
The vote is 601. The order passes. Take a, I guess it's
The battery.
battery timeout.
Go ahead, move on.
I was gonna have you read the rest of the orders. Trying to find the long one for you.
Read it as soon as we activate this part.
Move forward. Okay. Order number 169. It is ordered that $1,543,062.25 is raised and appropriated in additional local funds, which exceeds the state's essential programs and services allocation model by $43,988.25 required to fund the budget recommended by the school committee. The school committee recommends $1,543,062.25 for the additional local funds that gives the following reasons for the exceeding the state's essential programs and services funding model by $43,988.25. The EPS formula does not reflect the actual cost of funding education in rural areas where education may cost more because of its smaller size as compared to large city schools. Therefore, monies will provide revenues to fully fund programs and operate schools, as well as contractual obligations areas include under EPS, such as 504 programs, extra and co-curricular activities, capital improvements and repairs, etc. Explanation. The additional local funds are those locally raised funds over and above the town's local contribution to the total cost of funding public education for pre-K, pre-kindergarten, grade 12, as described in the Essential Programs and Services Funding Act, and local amounts raised for the annual payment on non-state funded debt service that will help achieve the town's budget for the educational program.
Moved by Councilor Madore, seconded by Councilor Pelletier. Any discussion from the council? From the public? Back to the council. Clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Craig,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 601, the order passes. Councilor Pelletier, could I have you read order 170-2022?
Certainly, excuse me, delay. Order 170, it is 2022, it is ordered that the school committee be authorized to expend $7,590,239.39 for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023 from municipalities' contribution to the total cost of funding public education from pre-kindergarten grade 12 as described in such program Services Funding Act. Non-state funded school construction projects, additional local funds for school purposes under the main revised statute. Title 20-A, section 15690, and expended balances, tuition receipts, state subsidy and other receipts, support of schools. School recommends $7,590,909.09.
Second.
Moved by Council Pelletier, seconded by Councilor Danforth. Any comments from the council? Comments from the public? Back to the council. Seeing none, clerk, call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 6-0-1, the order passes. Councilman McEwen, could I have you read order 171?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Order number 171-2022, providing for additional local dollars in support of the food service program. It is ordered that the municipality district unit will raise and to appropriate $10,000 in additional local dollars in support of the food service program. The school committee recommends $10,000.
Second.
Moved by Council McEwen, seconded by Councilor Madore. Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 6-0-1, order passes. Councilor Bragdon, could I have you read order 172?
Order number 172.
Order number 172-2022, providing for adult education. It is ordered that $3,205.34 be appropriated for adult education and that $3,205.34 be raised as the local share with authorization to expend any additional incidental or miscellaneous receipts in the interest and for the well-being of the adult education program. School committee recommends a yes vote.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Bragdon, seconded by Councilor Madore. Discussion from the council. Comments from the public. Back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 6-0-1, the order passes. Councilor Madore, could I have you read order 173?
I defer to Councilor Danforth. I don't want to have her feel left out.
Councilor Madore refers to Councilor.
Yes, order
Danforth.
number 173-2022, providing for a regional vocational operating budget. It is ordered that the regional vocational operating budget as approved by the cooperative board for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30, 2023 be approved in the amount of $1,854,595.81. Millinocket's share is $28,802.88 with authorization to extend any additional incidental or miscellaneous receipts in the interest and well-being of the vocational programs. The school committee recommends a yes vote.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Danforth, seconded by Councilor Madore and Bragdon. Tag team over there. Any comments from the council? Seeing none, the public. Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 6-0-1, the order passes. Councilor Madore, could I have you read order 174?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Order 174-2022, providing for regional vocational adult education operating budget. Order that the regional vocational adult education operating budget as approved by the cooperative board for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023 be approved in the amount of $43,900. Millinocket's share is $3,205.34 with authorization to extend any additional incidental or miscellaneous receipts in the interest and well-being of the adult education vocational program. The school committee recommends a yes vote.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Madore, seconded by Councilor Danforth. Any comments from the council? Seeing none. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon. Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilor McEwen.
Aye.
The vote being 6-0-1, the order passes. Council McEwen, could I have you read order 175-2022?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, order number 175-2022, providing for acceptance of state, federal, or other sources of funds. It is ordered that the town of Millinocket Town Treasurer is authorized to accept and expend grants, including carryover amounts from state, federal, or other sources for the interest of education in fiscal year 2023. Special dedicated revenue budgets amounts to be in addition to the amounts appropriated and raised in the general budget, $7,740,624.05, and the clearing account budget amount unknown but estimated to be $1 million. Sources include Title 1A, Title 2A, Title 5, Tier 3, local entitlement, school lunch programs, and others. Sources do not include the international program, which is approved under a separate order. Some of these monies are now included in the new EPS funding model adopted in 2005 by Maine State Legislature. The school committee recommends a yes vote.
Second.
Moved by Councilor McEwen, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. Any comments or questions from the council?
I believe there's
Councilor
amended
Bragdon.
amounts. Is that correct on this order?
Correct. I make a motion to amend order number 175-2022. The numbers should read the general budget, $7,590,239.39, and estimated to be 2 million, not 1 million.
Second.
Moved and seconded to amend the order. Comments from the council? From the public? Back to the council? Mary Alice?
Mary Alice Collin, treasurer. I would just like to have clarification on the $2 million special revenue.
Mary Alice. Top of that, you can slide it up. Or there's a button on that slide,
Oh, okay.
That, I would just like to have clarification on the $2 million number. Does that include the ESSER spent, does that, how does that affect the cash flow? Commitment for the town. We had a previous order for $1.5 million, and then there was pause on the ESSER funding. So I need some direction on how that $2 million is to be managed from a cash flow perspective. We have, I've been working with the business manager, and there's about 1.4 million of ESSER remaining to be spent. 350, over 300,000 has been spent so far. We're hoping to get $80,000 back from the state. We looked at the other special revenue accounts, the school lunch, the title, tier 3, and whatnot. These are, he does not have all the information on that at this point as far as what the funding will be, but it looks like it could be at least $700,000. Just working with what we have for information on what has been spent in the prior years. So if you take the ESSER at 1.4 million not spent, plus at least 700,000 on these special revenues, we're looking at over $2 million. So does this order say that you are going to cash flow the $2 million and release the pause on the ESSER grant?
I guess, I appreciate that, Mary Alice. Josh, would you like to respond to the 2 million segment of that? Welcome to our world of microphone problems. Just hold it for a second.
Feedback. No. Mike's up there.
I'll set it now. Yeah, so,
I want Councilor Bragdon to be able to hear this since he's doing, you're multitasking, okay. All right, please, go ahead.
So I would like to make a statement on the ESSER 3 reimbursements. We have started receiving reimbursements for that. I just deposited a check. I think it was around $60,000 on top of a $24,000 check I deposited last week. So we have started receiving those funds. There should be no more hold up on the state's end.
If I could follow up on,
Yes.
That's great.
what assurances or how is the state been addressing their side of the equation? Have they been sharing information with the various school systems across the state as to how they're trying to improve their reimbursement process?
When it's available,
As when the funds, I thought the funds were already in the state's hands to disperse out to the.
they
community.
are, but we do have to submit for a reimbursement through invoices. We've been granted $1.7 million, and since we started spending out of this grant, we've spent a little over $300,000. $84,000 of that has been invoiced for. It was held up on the state's end for a very long time. In the last few weeks, I was able to get that corrected. We've received that funding, and realistically, I can submit for an invoice tomorrow on the remainder of that balance. And we'll be back up to that. There should be no longer a lingering reimbursement.
Yeah, I had understood that the part of the process was the state getting their system up as to how they were reviewing and responding to that, and of course, the pandemic kind of getting a little bit behind them. They themselves were a little bit behind, but from your perspective, that system is improving at their level.
Yes, I've actually heard from the powers that be at the state that the turnaround time has gone down to as little as 10 days before approval versus the 60 days that we were initially given.
And I'm hoping that that's true, because as Mary Alice pointed out, cash flow is always an issue with the town as well. And of course, we're a little bit behind schedule this year in reference to getting the tax bills and stuff out, but Councilman Madua.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you. This is what I was talking about earlier in our previous meeting about whether or not we're still going to go ahead and pause the ESSER fund releases. If the state is now starting to reimburse at a accelerated rate as far as the time applied for and the time rebated, moving some of these projects that the school has going forward, I have no problem moving ahead. And I mean, it was the reimbursement problem that was where I believe where the problem was, where the council wanted to go ahead and pause that, not having the information of what projects were being done and where the reimbursement and reimbursement time was going to take to get the monies back. If the reimbursement time has been remedied with the state of Maine, which I believe it probably has now, I would look for the council to move to take action in hopefully our next meeting to release those ESSER funds from being paused and allowing the school to move forward with them. I just don't see, once the situation has availed itself, I think now they've gotten all the, hopefully gotten most of the kinks out of it. I would like to go ahead and see that released and let the school get on with their projects and hopefully receive the reimbursements in timely fashion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Council Pelletier.
I take the treasurer's query to heart. We've got $2 million here that we may have to front, as well as keep the ESSER going, as Councilman Madore suggests. That could be our undesignated funds.
I appreciate comments from the council that has nothing to do with the items that's before us, other than the question of clarification of, as Mary Alice had asked, that money going forward. I think we will have that discussion when the item comes up as to whether the council wants to pause future. I'd rather have them come to us. I'll save my comments for that next meeting. In reference to the school budget, any other comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilor McEwen.
I unfortunately have a prior commitment at 6:30 that I will need to leave. And I would just ask if there's no other comments, I'd like to call the vote.
I believe we passed all the orders.
No, we've got an amended, this 175 is an amended that's been moved and seconded.
This order specifically,
Yep.
if,
Thank you.
I just need to
Councilman
leave it,
McEwen called
I
the
read
vote.
the,
There's no discussion.
I read the
There's no
order,
discussion
that,
on
that's
calling
the only
vote,
thing.
Councilman McEwen.
Yeah, I just said, I
You
read
can't
the order and I
discuss
do
your
need to. I said, I need to step out at 6:30 unfortunately, and I read the order, so I'm just asking if there was any additional comment or if we could vote on it, unless we had to do something else administratively. I unfortunately need to step out.
Yep. Clerk will call the roll.
So this voted on the amended,
Yeah.
on the
Yes.
amendment?
Yep.
Councilor Brandon.
Aye.
Councilman, Madore.
Aye.
Councilor
Aye.
Craig. Councilor
Aye.
Danforth. Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Councilman McEwen.
The vote is 6-0.
Vote
Aye.
as amended.
Now the vote, the order as amended.
Thank you. Yes. Councilor Brandon.
Aye.
Council Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
And Council McEwen.
Aye.
The vote is 6-0-1. The order passes as amended.
And, Mr. Chairman,
Council McEwen.
apologies for the inconvenience, but I do need to step out tonight, and I just thank the council and that we're having a past school budget, so thank you.
Thank you, Council McEwen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first.
When would you like to? have the, order?
The 176.
This would be 177. It's not included in the packet. We didn't have a recommendation for him. For an amendment. I have it here.
We don't have it written.
You don't have it in paper.
I have a copy of the previous order that was passed. That's all.
I have it here and can share it on the screen.
Well,
But it needs to be amended as this basically directs it to stop on September 1st.
well, the question is having an order that's not presented to us.
But it can be.
Can you show it on the screen so the councils can view it?
So we're gonna do this.
Yeah, 176, that's.
I'm sorry. Council.
176.
We have a couple of orders that were tabled. We have a couple of orders that were tabled.
Right.
This actually can be under the new business of the one of our.
Apologies, I thought we were finished.
No, one
That's
second.
okay. So we'll continue with the unfinished business and then we'll go to
Right.
new business.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Council Madore.
Thank
Order
you. Mr. Chairman.
176, please.
Order 176-2023. Providing for acceptance of enterprise and agency funds that is ordered the town of Millinocket, town treasurer is authorized to accept and expend enterprise and agency funds, including any carryover funds on behalf of the following, with any amounts to be expended. Okay, all right. To be expended in the clearing account budget, in addition to amounts appropriated and raised from the general education budget, $7,590,239.39, and the special revenue budget of $2 million. Amounts unknown but estimated to be $516,596. Sources include Millinocket school lunch program and any others. Some of these monies are now included in the new EPS funding model adopted in 2005 by the Maine State Legislature. The school committee recommends a yes vote. To be ordered that in addition to the amount approved for the total school budget for the next fiscal year, the school committee is authorized to expend such other funds as may be received from federal or state grants or programs or other sources during the fiscal year for school purposes, including the foreign student tuition program, the dual diploma program, provided that such grants, programs, and other sources do not require the expenditure of other funds not previously appropriated.
Second.
Moved by Council Madore, seconded by Council Danforth. Questions from the council? Councilor Bragdon.
Point of clarification, it's order 176, 2022, not 23.
Thank you.
Councilor Pelletier, did you have a question? Any comments, other comments from the council? From the public? Back to the council. Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Frank.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier.
Aye.
Voting yes. Councilor
The-
5-0.
Vote is 5-0-2. The order passes. Order number 177. Manager. So the council all have copies of that now?
We're gonna finish the agenda under unfinished business that goes in the business afterwards.
Okay,
I think we're going to 1-8. Yes.
thank you.
Councilor Frank, that was just for your reference, that was already passed prior to this project.
Trying to find my. That is all done.
Right after 176.
Hmm. I got it. Oh, yep, found it. Got it. Too much paper. Secretary Dan, you know, it's all, in the old days, it was Secretary of the Senate that did all the reading, so.
President of the Senate. President Danforth, I will go
Councilor
ahead.
Danforth, would you read order 184, please?
I would, but I do have a question for the clerk. What is the date that should be inserted?
I do have a recommended date, after the notice, of election needs to be posted for at least the, 7 days. The following Tuesday, that would be, the election would be September 13th. Hoping that Jen is available. We'll make that happen. Just half. So that's the recommendation.
So looking at the order, the notes section.
Your mic's on.
She didn't want that recorded.
So looking at the order,
Give it a second.
You can start talking.
So looking at the order, the note section, does that need to be read because there are dates that have gone by?
That's correct. It does not need to be read, but if you want to read it, you can include my recommendation. It's not necessary to read.
The answer is no, you don't.
Okay. Order number 184-2022, providing for date, time, place, warden for the special school budget validation referendum. It is ordered that the special school board budget validation referendum will be held on Tuesday, September 13th, 2022, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Stearns High School Gymnasium. And it's further ordered that Diana M. Lakeman shall be warden of said election.
Second.
You need to read.
Motion's been read. Looking for a second.
Councilor Bragdon seconded the motion.
Thank you. Moved by Councilor Danforth, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. Any comments from the public, from the council? Trying to get over that group, from the public. Councilor Pelletier.
Maybe you can give some clarification from your history here. For as long as I've been on the council, we've always come to this point where the school has submitted a budget that we agree with. Why a validation vote is the council and the school agree on it?
State law.
The town citizens voted to continue to send this out. And it's a multi-year thing once the town adopts it.
3 years.
3 years. So it will be another 3 years before we can ask the town to not have it go back out to.
I understand the vote on the pass, it's not mandatory. I mean, that.
It is mandatory. It's mandated by the public. They voted to continue for the general public to have a say. In reference to the note that's down below.
And that, just for clarification to that vote, that second question, I believe is next year. So that will come again to the public, and if they decide that they don't want to follow the statute, then we can.
It goes out with the school budget in the next year. And if the public votes to continue having a say on it, then it will continue to go for another 3 years.
That'd be my point. It'd be nice not to have to do it, because we're not in this.
The council cannot direct the town not to vote on it.
I'm not talking this year, I'm talking when they have town would not to have.
You're advocating that they not.
Exactly.
We did last time too, unanimously by the council.
And there was only 100 people. Sorry.
Yes. Further comments? Seeing none. I believe we're down to a vote.
I think we're on.
Okay. We voted?
Vote on order 184.
Yes.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Cray,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
The vote being 502, the order passes. Council Pelletier, could I have you read order 185-2022?
Order 185-2022, providing for processing absentee ballots, budget validation referendum. Whereas Title 21-AMRSA Section 797 allows the election board to process absentee ballots while the polls are open, and whereas processing such ballots was the election clerks and vote expedited process after the polls are closed, and whereas expediting the process after the polls are closed will result in some savings to the town of Millrocket. Now therefore it is ordered that the election board is authorized to process absentee ballots at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. during the school budget validation referendum. Second.
Moved by Council Pelletier, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. Any discussion by the council? Seeing none, the public. Seeing none, back to council.
if I may.
Clerk may proceed.
I would just like to inform at this time that absentee ballots will be ready tomorrow if anybody's interested, as the notice of election will be posted.
Thank you. It's very efficient. Hearing no further comments. The clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Cray,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
The vote being 502, the order passes. Councilor Danforth, can I have you read order 186-2022?
Order 186-2022, providing for office hours of the registrar for the school budget validation referendum. Whereas Title 21-A MRSA Section 122(6) specifies the process that the registrar must follow in registering voters. And whereas the town clerk also serves as registrar, and whereas the registrar and/or deputy registrars are available during poll hours on election day, whereas the town clerk has regular hours on 4 business days before election day to register voters, and whereas the opening evening hours as required by law to receive voter registrations will be an added cost to the municipality. Now therefore it is ordered that it is not necessary that the registrar be open to accept voter registration for 2 hours in the evening between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. on at least 3 days before election day.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Danforth, seconded by Councilor Madore. Any discussion by the council? Seeing none, the public. Seeing none, back to the council. No comment. The clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Cray,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Vote being 502, the order passes. Councilor Madore, could I have you read order 150?
177.
177?
order number 77 already previously passed with the new order number.
was fast change.
Yes. It's
Oh, okay.
200 and I don't know how much permits are. The one thing I don't have. So if you guys want to make up the order on that, which
Numbers.
is new information, your safety was order number 240, and I'm taking out of rotation.
If I pull up the most recent agenda, can we,
Yes.
yes,
Please.
that would be from the 25th. And we left off at order 224. So this would be 225.
There's an amendment.
This would,
You have an amended version.
I have the original.
And what is the
Can
amendment
we
version?
just provide an amendment to? Oh, no, that would be trying to, can we just provide an amendment to 177?
You would want to have order number 225-2022, and then read the motion as you would anticipate the need for the order.
Right.
And you would include as order number 177 read, and however it needs to be further ordered. I think it's the further order needs to be changed for the request of the treasurer.
Well, the budget total needs to be
Correct.
changed too. It was at $272,300. And it's currently at $267,000. Am I correct, Josh? Yes. Yeah, so that would need to be updated, and then I assume that we would want to recommend alleviating the September 1st deadline and change it to throughout FY 23.
For public purposes, I think we probably need a little bit more clarity on that, so that I want everybody to make sure they heard what we're talking about.
And you'd like me to go over?
Yeah.
Correct. So order number 177 by 2 was approved. Can I? Order number 177, 2022 was passed on June 23rd. And it included an original budgeted amount of $272,300. That budgeted amount has now changed to $267,000. Also, it is further ordered from that order. The last line had that the treasurer was authorized to accept and expend those funds in relation to that program to the extent that the funds were available by September 1st, 2022, and then throughout the fiscal year of 23. So the revenue budget for that program would need to be updated to 267,000. And I would probably recommend alleviating the September 1st deadline, as that is in a couple of days. As well as the expense. The expense needs to be updated. So on here, the expense included is $83,375. And Josh, can you rattle off the number quick enough?
For the total expense for the international program, I have $267,000 as I included a transfer out to the revenue section. I believe it's around $43,000. I don't have the exact amount. When you take out the town transfer, I would need to. I can pull out a calculator if you guys see that.
The amount taken out would be what?
43,000 something.
Approximately, yes.
Does that include, that wouldn't include benefits, so is that in the same category?
So the international coordinator has taken a second position within the school, so we can take the benefit amount from that line as well, and that is a grant funded position.
Okay, thanks for that clarification. Y'all got that?
So without that expense, we just put 43,000.
Yeah.
That is,
And if we get it wrong, I'm sure Mary Alice will raise her hands and let us know that the money's wrong. So
all right,
we'll figure it out.
we'll give it a shot.
You have the numbers now?
I got the number, yes. And the order is 225 now. Order 225-2022, providing for FY 23 international program budget. It is ordered the international program revenue budget of $267,000 and expense budget of $43,000 be approved, and it is further ordered that any fund balance will transfer to the school operating budget at the end of the fiscal year, and it is further ordered that the town of Millinocket town treasurer is authorized to accept and expend funds related to the approved international program budget to the extent that the funds are available throughout FY 23 to cover the program's expenses.
Second.
Moved by Council Madore, seconded by Council Danforth. Questions from the council? From the public?
I don't know, but I'm cracking my daughter up.
Not to wait 2:30 Main Avenue and school employee. I just want to note for the record that earlier today on your agenda, you got 225 as an order. I don't know if that, because you just called 225.
Yes, I did.
Maybe it should be 226.
Yes, 226.
All right.
Thank you, Matt.
I would-
I had that information.
Thank you, Matt. I was given the wrong number.
Corrected, 226.
Thank you, Matt. Glad somebody's paying attention. Any other comments? Seeing none, clerk, call the roll.
Councilor Bragdon.
Aye.
Councilor Madore.
Aye.
Councilor Craig.
Aye.
Councilor Danforth.
Aye.
Councilor Pierce.
The vote being 502, the order passes. So we're done.
Motion, move to adjourn.
Comments from the public? No, 2 minutes. 2 minute hearing, all right. There is a council, there's a motion by Councilor Madore.
Yep.
To
Second by
adjourn, seconded by Councilor Bragdon. No necessity of a roll since we're all here. So hands all in favor,
Thank you.
5-0,
You did great.
5-4-0-1. Councilor Pelletier wants to stay here. Thank you very much. I appreciate the